Mr. Seward here, and this is our lab number 3. You're going to take a look at this, and here's the instructions. We're going to create the drawing below with dimensions, and we're going to place it onto a B-sized sheet. Be sure to center your drawing on the title strip B. Well, what's title strip B? Something we don't have yet. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to my file manager, and I'm going to go back to where I keep my title strip, and I'm going to double click on that. And what I want to do is I want to go to the Save As button that's in this top row. It's the fourth one in from the letter A. And I'm going to click on that, and I am going to save this. Now you want to differentiate it from the other one. So I'm going to call it B dash title strip 2021, and I'll hit save. Now this is just the same as it was before, except we're going to change this dimensionally on the paper. So the first thing is I'm going to go down to my layout 1. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to page setup manager, and this is layout 1. I want to modify this. And where it says paper size here, I'm going to go down into my list, and I'm going to select ANSI B 11 by 17. So that is the size for the paper. And I can select OK and close. Now, what I'll do here is I will actually get rid of this paper space and model space. All right. And I'm going to go back to my model space, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Now, a piece of B-sized paper is 11 inches tall and 17 inches long. And if I do my distance tool here, DI, and measure from down here to up here, you're going to see that my distance here is 7.5 inches. So I want this to be for an 11 by 17. Now, don't forget, this was for an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So we are 1 inch short of 8.5 here. We're going to have the same thing with this 11 dimension. So we only want this to be 10 inches tall from this lower left corner to the top. So I'm going to use my stretch command. I'm going to type str, and then I'm going to go, you go always with stretch from right to left, and this is a crossing window, so anything that it completely encircles or touches is selected. I'm going to click, and I'm going to press the space bar because that's all the objects I want to stretch. And then it says specify my base point, so I'm just going to click out here in space. I'll turn on my orthogonal with F8 so it goes straight up and down. I'm going to push straight up, and I'm going to put in 2.5. Now, if I measure this again, and I'll use distance, DI, down here to up here, you can see that the distance, maybe you didn't see it, but it's 10 inches. Now I have to make it longer. I have to make it fit 17 inches, which really means I want my title block to be 16 inches long because I'm going to put a half-inch margin around the entire thing. So I'm going to do STR for stretch again. I'm going to go to this upper right corner, and I'm just going to come down here to this lower left corner. And notice I'm touching the drawing evaluation block, but I'm not going into this area over here on the left. So just right there, space, click, and let's see, I want this to become 16 inches, and right now it's 10, so I'm going to add 6 inches to this, And that makes my block set up for an 11 by 17 piece of paper. And I'll close that out. So I'm going to save this right now just so I have it. Okay. Now, the next thing is I'm going to go into my layout. And I'm going to go to layout 1. I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit page setup manager. This is layout 1. I'm going to modify this. I'm already set for the 11 by 17. I guess I did that earlier. That's okay. I'll hit close. Now I'm going to put, with layout, I'm going to put in a rectangle here. That's going to come from the edges of this box to down here. And that puts in my 11 by 17 piece of paper. I'll double click inside here and I'm going to press F7 to turn that off. And then, of course, I hit save. And now I am all set for a B size title block to be used by me for my drawing in lab number 3.